There you are.
Hi, yeah, boy, that took a minute or two to get in. All right.
That's okay. We're using something different. I know we didn't know everybody was going on Zoom when we chose this. So
Right, right. No worries, no
good,
worries.
good morning.
Sure.
Melissa Erickson. I'm the Executive Director of the Alliance for Public Schools.
Hi,
Thank you
Melissa.
very much for agreeing to do this. We,
Absolutely.
we do work in 4 counties. Our biggest footprint is in Hillsborough and Pinellas. And we've had lots and lots of questions about school board candidates. So this is the way we've chosen to answer them.
Right.
As we went over on the phone when we booked the appointment, it'll be 20 minutes is the only time limit. You don't have any time limit on specific questions. So if there's something that you want to talk about more and you don't feel that you've gotten your message out there, feel free to do so. I won't stop you. We'll go through 7 questions just to guide the conversation. But if on the first question you just go for 20 minutes, that's your entitlement. You're totally okay to do that. Do you have any questions on the format?
Not at all. No, thanks.
Okay. And so again, I am with, so good morning, everyone. I am with Tom Topping. He is running for Pinellas County School Board District 1. And we will start with the first question. So the first question, you'll see them on the screen in just a second. They'll pop up. So the first question is, tell me what you love about public schools.
The kids, that's number one. As a 23-year veteran of public schools, I've been a teacher, I've been a coach, and I've been a district administrator. Everyone does this for the kids. You know, just yesterday I was talking a little bit on a Facebook Live about delayed gratification and how now that I'm in business for myself, you know, I'm a professional speaker and corporate trainer and business coach. You know, when you have a speaking engagement, people come up to you afterwards and hand you a business card and they tell you, you know, how much they enjoyed it and all that. But teaching is very, very different. There's delayed gratification in teaching where sometimes you don't hear until years and years later the impact that you've made upon children. And for me, if you're not doing it for the love of kids and building relationships and teaching so that you can see those students achieve their dreams down the road, then I'm not sure why you're in the business. And I know 99% of the teachers out there who I've worked with, who I still socialize with, and who I know and trust and believe, I know that's why they do it, is working with the kids. That would be, if that answer is not consistent, then we're in trouble, but I know that it is. So my love of kids has shown in not only my teaching, but I was also a coach. You know, I coached for many, many years. I coached basketball, both within public schools, and I was a consultant for Nike for about 15 years, where I helped 100+ kids get college scholarships worth, they estimate in the range of $30 million for those types of athletic scholarships. So, you know, amazing experiences with kids over the years, and I love it. And I like being a leader when it comes to education. And of course, forming relationships with teachers and administrators and all of that over time. But the number one reason, of course, is kids.
Thank you. Next question is, which are the attributes of an effective school board member, and which attributes are your strengths and which do you struggle with?
That's a good question. The attributes of an effective school board member are, you know, number one, you hire and fire the superintendent. So that would be hiring a superintendent would not be difficult for me, nor truthfully would firing, because I'm also an HR professional. I have a master's degree in human resources, and I've actually had to hire and fire educators before. I had to fire substitute teachers in my role as a human capital partner, and I also hired and recruited and tried to retain great teachers in my role of a human capital partner. So I have experience doing both, you know, strategically hiring and then exiting people from the business that weren't performing to the level that we really need and endangering kids. So at the end of the day, I've had experience with both of those things. Obviously, a board member has to oversee the budget and policy making, and I think that is a huge piece of the puzzle for school board members. The last thing is we would be members of a school board. So that requires collaboration. That requires working together. I've run 2 nonprofits. I've been the president. I'm the past president of Suncoast HR, which is the Human Resources Association for all of Pinellas County. I currently serve as a district director for HR Florida, which is the Florida Human Resources Association. And so being a coach, all of those things, I've collaborated on boards, I've collaborated with teams, I've worked in both professional development and human resources at public districts, and I understand how to collaborate and work as a team as well. So those are the things that I think a board member is required to do. They're required to hire and fire the superintendent. They're required to be strategic and financial gurus when it comes to the budget and policy making. And then at the end of the day, you have to work as a team member.
The next one is, what role does family and community engagement play in public schools?
Yeah, they play a huge role. You know, it's been proven, it's research-based, that when families are involved in education, student achievement goes up. So leveraging partnerships with the community is a no-brainer. Leveraging partnerships with organizations like yours is a no-brainer. Advocacy from the community is the best way that we can make curriculum rigorous and relevant. So there has to be community involvement. You know, I've worked as a teacher and as a district leader. I've worked with community groups in our education and with students in particular, parents as well. I've been in on hundreds, if not probably 1,000 parent conferences or more in my career. And I can tell you, communication always leads to better results. So when you're communicating, whether it's in coaching, whether it's in teaching, whether it's communicating about a child, a lot of people don't want to have those uncomfortable conversations. But uncomfortable conversations lead to improvements 99 times out of 100. Sometimes, you know, there may be an occasional situation where it doesn't, but my belief is communication with all parties always leads to better results. So I'm big on communicating with not only parents, but service organizations and vested parties that have the same, where their alignments are matched with school boards, teachers, administrators, support staff, cafeteria, bus drivers, everybody involved.
Next question, you are elected to serve this term on the school board. How do the schools, the district, and community look different in 4 years?
Yeah, one of the big things that I'm running on is closing the achievement gap, and you know, the achievement gap has been the district has focused on the Bridging the Gap plan by trying to recruit and retain great teachers. They've increased the pay. They've you know, they're focusing on lowering discipline and improving training for restorative practices. I know there's going to be a curriculum review for anti-racist curriculum, and there's been cultural competence training, and I know they're looking at more culturally relevant instruction. We've also looked at ESE placements, discipline. You know, there's been a lot of work done in our transformation zone schools, and you know, including having teachers on deck that are ready to jump in and take over a classroom if a teacher exits unexpectedly, including literacy and math coaches in each school, school psychologists, school sociologists in each school, administrative interns at each school, you know, all of those people there to support those schools. Now, as a human resource professional and an educator, I will tell you that we need to train those people even more. We need to upskill all of them and improve, give them the opportunities to be the best that they can be. research proves that the most influential person on a student's academic achievement outside of the home is their teacher. So why could we have to spend more money on training teachers and improving teachers so that we can close the achievement gap? And I might add this, yesterday I was on a forum with my two opponents, and I mentioned academic rigor. If you go to my website, electtomtopping.com, you can see my 4 priorities. And one of them is ensuring academic rigor in our curriculum, especially now as we've pivoted to this virtual learning and online learning that for, through no one's fault, it did turn into, in many ways, virtual assignment completion rather than virtual learning. And we have to avoid that. We need academic rigor. One of my opponents yesterday said, we've heard about rigor before and we need fresh ideas. No, we don't. We need rigorous academic instruction. We need great teachers. We need safe and healthy schools. And we need equity and access for all students across the board. We need to focus on early learning and ensuring that we're tackling the literacy issue at an early age. We can't wait until those 3rd grade tests come out to find out who can and who cannot read. We have to tackle that early. So in 4 years, that achievement gap goes down. My slogan for my campaign is let's get to the future first. One reason for that is because our achievement gap numbers mirror that of the entire nation. Although we've worked to improve it, they still mirror the entire nation. What does get to the future first means? It means Pinellas County reduces that achievement gap first. We are the first one to the future. So under my leadership, that's exactly going to be the goal. We are going to be the premier district in the nation.
Next question, what kind of school board member it's supposed to be, are you and will you be? I forgot to alleviate a non-returning candidate. I apologize. So what kind of school board member will you be if elected?
So hopefully from my last answer, I will be passionate and I will be opinionated and I will be unwavering in many ways. Education, this time in our lives in education, it's way too important to elect people that aren't experienced in education to the school board, right? I will be a knowledgeable, experienced, opinionated, I'll be a communicator, I'll be a listener to the community, and I will take all of those aspects and I will bring that to a collaborative, functioning board. And I will be passionate. I won't be a rubber stamp. And the big thing that you get from me is on day one, I will be prepared to be a school board member. I won't need this long onboarding process where, I have to learn how to be a board member and understand, educational concepts and things like that. I've been there. I've done that. I've started my own business. I've run 2 nonprofits. I understand that the district has a $1.5 billion budget, but that 80% plus of that budget all goes to comp and benefits, right? So that leaves about $300 million left in the budget that we have to dedicate to ensuring that our students are the most prepared of any kids in the entire country. And so understanding where now those dollars need to go is the clear difference between me and my opponents.
Okay, so what are the responsibilities of the school board and individual school board members related to public education advocacy?
Listen, we have to listen. Those are to me, those are, did you say what are the rules or what did you say?
I said, what are the responsibilities when related to public education advocacy?
Yeah, is to listen and to make yourself available and to understand that, a lot of advocacy is not just, some advocacy can be squawking, right? Other advocacy, the majority of advocacy can be hey, this is what research is telling me. This is what my people are saying. This is where we feel that the attention needs to go. And as a board member, you have to listen. Every board that I've ever served on, the first rule is to listen to your constituents, listen to the people that are interested and invested in your organization in whatever way. So the first responsibility is to listen, to question, to communicate, have sit down, have conversations, and really get to the heart of what the advocacy is for, and then work, of course, within statutory requirements. There's a lot of things right now that are going on with schools and reopening and all that our districts have no control over, that the Florida Department of Education is saying you must do these things, and our districts are doing the best they can to work within those areas. So they have to listen and explain to advocates on both sides that are for opening, not for opening, et cetera. And they have to assure them that, in this situation, we're going to keep our employees and we're going to keep our students safe. So that's, I think, the primary role is to communicate, listen, and appreciate the hard work that advocates do in the community.
The last question is, what does constituent outreach and constituent services look like under you as a school board member?
It involves, number one, the first thing that I want to do is I want to get into schools. Okay, so before or during, while I'm doing this, when I'm elected, I'm going to visit every one of our schools. Okay, every single one of our schools. I'm going to visit all of our schools in the first year, and I want to get in there and I want to hear from teachers. I want to hear from administrators. I want to hear from students. I want to hear from parents. I want to know how their choices for the online learning, how things are going in the schools, how the social distancing is working, how masks are working, all of those kind of things. I want to know what's going on. I think it's the responsibility of a board member to listen to everyone that has an opinion on schools. If you take the time to reach out to me, I will respond. I've reached out to public officials and heard crickets back, and nothing is more frustrating. So I'm huge on customer service. In fact, I train on customer service. So I can tell you, if constituents want to reach out to me, I'm available. I will talk. I've been doing that during my campaign with many people who are passionate and interested about our education in particular at this time. So what does constituency look like to me? It looks like students, families, parents, teachers, groups, outside agencies like yourselves that are advocating for the best of public schools, to say, we need your ear for a moment, and we may need you to get involved in this. And so I'm not afraid. I've never been considered a follower, so I'm not afraid to be tip of the spear on anything. I've done some challenging work in my educational profession as well, and so for me, it's about ensuring that voices are heard, in particular voices that are hard to be heard unless they can reach out to someone in a board position. So I am all in on constituency. I encourage everyone to go to my website and my opponent's websites and look at what I've done in the past and look at where my priorities are, and then compare those to my opponents, and then reach out to me, get in touch with me. Let's put me to the test right now in terms of you as a constituent group and me as a potential board member. Reach out, find out if I'm approachable, available, and all those kind of things, because I can assure you I will be. But I will appreciate your vote on or before August 18th. Tom Topping, 23 years of professional educational experience, 16 right here in Pinellas County. My wife still works for the district. My wife, Michelle, is the Director of Educational Alternative Services.
We have about 30 seconds left if you want anything else.
Yeah, I'll just finish that thought that my wife works for the district, and I have two godchildren in our district. They go to Gulfport Elementary and John Hopkins Middle. So I'm invested in the safety and health of everyone in our community, and I want to ensure that we have safe and healthy schools. But go to electtomtopping.com for more and contact me. I'm happy to chat with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so very, very much for your time. We are going through all of these for both Hillsborough and Pinellas before we post them so that no one can see the questions beforehand. Sure. So the goal is, and we should be on track for posting them on Monday. So I will send you a link to the website, to your email at your website. And that way, if you want to put it up, you can. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time. I know you guys are, I know all candidates are asked to do a lot, so we appreciate you participating with us.
And you know what? I appreciate you saying that as well, because I filled out a form the other day for a constituency group that took over 4 hours. And right now in COVID and all that, it's really, really difficult to find all the time to get out there and work as hard as we can. So I appreciate you honoring my time as well. Thank you.
And we like that 20 minutes, you're not an hour and you're only getting 5 minutes to speak. Your 20 minutes was your 20 minutes. So
that's absolutely right. It's a great format. I really like it. I appreciate you doing this for sure. And honestly, I appreciate the work that you do for public schools. I mean, I hope I got that point across, is that this is about public schools, and it's about making our public schools the best they can be. So thank you for all of your work with the Alliance.
Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Great cause. You too.
Thanks.
Thanks.